everybody, this is Rachel and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. This is the second part to my stillbirth story. So please, if you're starting with this video, go back and watch the first one. I will link it up in the iCard and down below in the description. So where I left off with the last part was getting the pregnancy and getting the diagnosis of our son who had Down syndrome and all the steps that I led up to this. In this part is going to be about the loss. It is extremely heavy and still extremely hard to talk about. So we're gonna, fingers crossed I can not cry at this. Okay. A week after we did our amniocentesis, it was a Wednesday. I was 20 weeks and 5 days pregnant when we did the testing. Exactly 1 week later, it was a Wednesday. It was February 8th. Early in that morning, I had felt our baby move. And the movement was weird. I remember it was about 10 a.m. and the way I felt him move was very, very weird. It almost felt like he tensed up real hard and stretched out real hard. And then it stopped and he moved around a little bit. And that was the last time I ever felt him move. I went about my day. I was at home all day. I wasn't feeling too great, so I was laying around a lot. I remember I was watching Shameless on Netflix pretty much all day, and then around sometime at night, I want to say it was around like 8 o'clock at night, I was watching an episode and I dozed off, just laying in my bed, and I want to say I slept for maybe an hour, and I woke up around 9 p.m. with my heart pounding and this sinking feeling that something was wrong. I thought I hadn't felt him move at that point in almost 12 hours, and that was abnormal. He was very active. I started to get really worried, and I had an at-home Doppler, and I pulled it out and I thought, I didn't feel him move, but I will hear his heartbeat. So I put the wand on my stomach and I was listening for a heartbeat, and this time I'm alone in my room and I'm moving around and I'm listening, and I hear faint little things and I'm like, oh my gosh, was that it? And it wasn't. I kept looking and looking and looking. I spent about 20 minutes with this Doppler on my stomach listening for his heartbeat. So I picked up the phone and I called my boyfriend and I said, you need to come over here because I can't hear his heartbeat. I can't find it. He hasn't moved. I need you to come to me and help me find it. Maybe you can help. Maybe you can find it, I said to him. And he came over about 5 minutes later. He only lived around the corner. And he came in the room and he held it on my stomach and he said, we're gonna find it, we're gonna find it, we're gonna find his heartbeat. We will find it. And we're sitting there and we're moving the Doppler and nothing other than the sounds other sounds you hear. It was silent. At that point, I had said that I think that we should maybe go up to the hospital. And then I pushed it aside. I said, no, I think that we're going to be okay. Maybe he's just in a weird position. I thought, let's give it some time. And my boyfriend turned to me and said, I think we should go. I think that the doctors would have a better luck of finding it, and it's better safe than sorry. So I said, okay. Our hospital is about 10 minutes away, and it was the most vivid drive I've ever had. Every turn, every movement, I feel it. I remember on our way up there knowing something was wrong. I felt it in my heart, in my gut, in my soul that something was wrong. So we get up to the hospital. We go into the emergency room because at this point it's, I want to say around 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock. And they admit us into maternity. And we go into this little room. And they lay us down on a bed. And they lay me down on the bed. Bobby, my boyfriend, was in the chair next to me. And the nurse said, all right, we're going to get our Doppler out and we're going to look. We're going to find it. And she sat there for about 10 minutes and couldn't find it. She said, all right, we're going to get the doctor in here. We're going to get the doctor on call, and he's going to come in. And he's going to look. So the doctor came in, he did the same thing with the Doppler, looking and looking, and he said, all right, we're going to pull out the ultrasound machine and we are going to just take a look and see. So he's in the room with us and he plugs in the ultrasound machine and it's just taking a while to start up. So he says, all right, I'm going to get the Doppler, and he's going to start looking again. And he would move and he would stop. And he would move it and he would stop it, and nothing. Silence. He gets the ultrasound machine, puts that jelly on my stomach, and puts the ultrasound receiver thing on my belly. And there's our baby just laying in there. And he goes over to the heart. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god. And there's nothing. You see a little sac. You see his little heart. And what you usually see on ultrasound, if you've ever had, when you see that beat, and it was still. But I already knew it was going to be. When I woke up in a panic like that, I knew. I just felt it. I knew it. I knew that he was gone. After the ultrasound, he said that he was going to admit me and that we are going to have to go forward with delivery. And he was going to give us a minute alone. So Bobby and I sat in the room and we cried and screamed and just prayed that it wasn't true and that we wanted to go back. We wanted him to actually be there. So the doctor came back in and he moved us to another room. They hooked me up to an IV and they started the process of delivery. They used these little pill things that they inserted up by my cervix to help me dilate, and they put me on fluids. I was allowed to have pain meds if I needed them. He said it would take quite some time and I was going to be there for quite a while. At that point, I had called my dad and my mom to come up, and they both did. And they were there for about an hour while we sat there, and then the doctor came in and he said that they could stay if they wanted to, but if they wanted to go home, it would be a while. It would be a while until I delivered, which it was. So, I want to say about an hour in, which is probably around like 1 in the morning, I started having mild contractions that kicked up pretty quick. I was in quite a bit of pain. I did get the pain medication. It's a little fuzzy here. It has been a while. I mean, it's been almost 2 years, or it's been almost 3 years now. So we got through the night. Contractions got harder. I was dilating. The process was going how it was supposed to. Throughout the next day, it got really intense because I was still on a lot of pain medication. I want to say around 3 o'clock it got really bad. I got another dose of pain medication. My grandmother showed up to visit me, and I had called my mom to come because I said I think we're getting pretty close. So the doctor comes in and checks me at that point, and I want to say at 3 o'clock was about 6 centimeters dilated. Around 3:30 he came back and I was 9 centimeters dilated. This period went really, really, really quick. So my grandmother was there, my mom showed up, I was in a lot of pain, and I felt the urge to push. The doctor comes in, he breaks my water, and this is around 3:50. I feel the need to push, but the doctor's not there. At this point, the only one who's there is the nurse. And she says, I remember there's a lot of fighting. I said that I couldn't do it. I said that I was in too much pain. There's no way I can do this. Where's the doctor? I was going on and on and on about that. And the doctor came in and he said, all right, push. I pushed twice and he was out. And our son, Mason David, was born at 4:04 p.m. on February 9th, 2017. He was 1 pound exactly. He was 10 inches long. And he was perfect in every way. And though I have a lot of pictures, I don't think I'm going to share them because they're very personal and very sad to look at. I still to this day have a hard time looking at them. After that, I didn't have any he cleaned with the doctors and nurses. The doctor and nurse cleaned everything up and cleaned me up. We held him. We took all these pictures. I had a lot of family come. They all said their goodbyes to him, and it was just me and Bobby after they left. And we had all the time we needed with him, and we had him in a little bed next to us. Those hospital baby bassinets. And it was at this point, it was getting a little, probably around like 6 o'clock, and we decided that we were gonna take a nap and lay down. So I fell asleep. At this point, I'm still pretty drugged up. I'm a little out of it. And I woke up. I don't remember the time. It was late. I remember it was dark out. I looked over at Mason in the bed, in the little crib. I looked at Bobby asleep. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, or in the window, and I lost it. It hit me all at once. What had happened, it hit me that he was no longer in me. And that was the worst feeling, is that I was looking at him and he wasn't alive. And he wasn't there. I would look down at my belly and he wasn't there. And that is when it hit me. And it all came flooding out, and I cried for hours, and I talked to Bobby about how awful it was. He was all upset. We were all upset. Just a mess. And about an hour later, we held him. And we decided that it was time to let him go, because at that point he was really cold. And I didn't want my last memory to be to that extent. I was content with where we were. I was content with that last moment, and we kissed him. And we put him in the bassinet. We called the nurses in, and they came and they took him. I went home from the hospital the next day. And I'm going to cut this video here, and I'm going to do another part of just the week after, and how I coped and how we pushed through this just for the week after. I mean, it's still something that we struggle with to this day, and we always will. I will always struggle with this. But next part will be how the steps we made and what we did after.